Peru news today. All you need to know about to Peru.
Worse, impossible. Peru tied 1-1 with Venezuela and remains last in the 2026 qualifiers. Peru received the Venezuela score within the framework of Date 6 of the 2026 qualifiers. The two-color hits rock bottom. The red and white at its worst. This Tuesday, Venezuela rescued a valuable equality against Peru at the National Stadium, consolidating itself in fourth place in the South American qualifiers towards the 2026 World Cup. Meanwhile, the Peruvian team is at the bottom. A goal by Jefferson Savarino in the 53rd minute tied the score scored by Yoshimar Yotun in the 17th minute for the Peruvian national team. In this way, Vinotinto reaches 9 units and remains in the World Cup qualifying zone. Peru, for its part, showed moments of good football in the first half, but in the second it fell again into a lagoon of errors and the low level that buried its aspirations of closing the year out of the last place in the classification, which occupies with only 2 units in 6 days. Despite the unpleasantness of the tie, the bicolors showed their best minutes of play in the current qualifiers in the first half of the match, which they dominated with solvency, although they could only score 1 goal despite having several clear options. With great pressure in the middle and strong marking, the locals took the first risk option in the 6th minute, when Alexander Collins headed a free kick but his shot went slightly off target. 3 minutes later, the bicolor launched a barrage of consecutive shots, the first from Yotun, which was blocked by goalkeeper Rafael Romo, another from Quispe that crashed into the leg of a defender, and the last from Aquino, who was again touched by a Venezuelan and went off course by very little. The home team's dominance was rewarded in the 17th minute when Yotun appeared like a bolt of lightning to open the account with a powerful header after receiving a high cross. From that moment on, the game once again became highly contested in the middle, with Peru maintaining control of the ball and closing ranks in the Venezuelan attempts, which passed through the feet of Soteldo and Darwin Machis. In the last minutes, Venezuela managed to balance the actions and achieve several free throws, although without real danger, but in a clear preview of the predominance they would exercise in the second half. The field seemed to lean in the opposite direction from the beginning of the second half, with Peru looking extremely nervous and Venezuela willing to seek a better result. That attitude allowed Savarino to even the score in the 53rd minute, with a low and cross shot after the Peruvian winger Marcos Lopez was surpassed on the baseline by Machis. In one of the few clear options for the locals, Lapadula wanted to surprise with a high shot almost from the middle of the court, but Romo managed to send the ball to the corner kick. The Venezuelan national team responded with another deep finish at 72, when Machis finished powerfully but Galese showed his reflexes to avoid Vinotinto's second, after which the actions were concentrated in the middle sector without major risks for both goals until the end of the game. Subscribe and follow us on our social networks, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and TikTok.
Peru news today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.